few minutes in, we look down at ace-queen offsuit on the button. A player in middle position raises to 50. I've played with this particular opponent several times now. I know that he's capable of opening extremely light, even from early position, so I'm comfortable 3-betting our hand for value. I re-raised to 150, not expecting to take it down pre-flop very often because the middle position player likes to see flops. Our opponent calls, we're heads up, the flop comes queen 9-4 rainbow, we're playing a nice sized pot, and we've drilled top pair. The opponent checks. There's not much to be worried about. If I've learned anything from Ray Bradbury, it's that those who don't build must burn. I bet 140 to build the pot. 140 is a little less than our pre-flop 3-bet. I bet smaller to keep the opponent in with hands that are drawing slim. Mostly, we just don't want to see a king come out on future streets because the prominent straight draws get there or improve to top pair. Also, king-queen would take the lead against us. The middle position player calls. Ideally, he'll have a worse queen than us, and a couple of blanks will come out, but he could certainly have a straight draw of some sort. The turn is the 4 of hearts, pairing the board and putting a flush draw out there. The opponent checks. He won't have many 4s in his range, and now that half the 4s are accounted for, it's less likely that he flopped the set. It's time to go a little larger with our bet size to charge drawing hands. I bet 400. The middle position player needs some time to think about it. He may not have much. He folds, but he asks the dealer if we can see what the river would have been. The dealer shows the 3 of hearts was coming out, which would have completed the backdoor flush, but otherwise would have been a blank. I'd have gone for a 3rd street of value. The opponent lets me know that he had jack 10 and folded a straight draw on the turn. Several orbits later, we're dealt ace-king offsuit on the button. The same opponent from the prior hand raises to 60 from middle position. The cutoff 3-bets at 200. This is the player from the previous vlog who 5-bet me with king 9 suited when we had aces. I don't put a lot of stock into his 3-bets, and we've got a premium. I cold 4-bet to 600. Winning a few hundred without seeing a flop is a decent outcome. The initial pre-flop raiser folds. The cutoff isn't getting caught 3-betting light. He has a legitimately strong hand that he's okay playing a 4-bet pot with from out of position. He calls, narrowing the range of combos he'll have down to a handful of top end ones, including ace-king, ace-queen suited, medium to high pocket pairs like queens, jacks, and tens, and maybe he'll have some suited connector type hands. We're heads up, the flop comes king jack 10 with 2 clubs, we've got top with a straight draw and backdoor flush draw. The cutoff checks. In theory, we're supposed to be betting a flop like this 100% of the time, but against the range of hands I put the opponent on, I'm not particularly interested in bloating the pot at the moment. There's a good chance that he has a straight, set, or top like us. If not, he's drawing slim, and we don't accomplish much by pumping money in. Pretty much every hand the cutoff will have that's worse than ours has to fold, even combos like pocket queens with no club, while queens with the club should still fold around 30% of the time. I check back. The turn is the deuce of clubs. We pick up the king high flush draw. Nothing else changes though. The cutoff checks again. I'm not sure if he's checking for deception or if he has pocket queens or some other pocket pair like 9s or 8s. I check back. The river is the jack of diamonds pairing the board. The cutoff checks one last time. My gut's telling me that we've got the best hand, but what combos will the cutoff have that he played this way that he can call a river bet with? He isn't even supposed to call our 4-bet pre-flop with king queen suited. Maybe pocket queens would call at this point if we made a small wager, but that's even a bit of a stretch, and we don't want to risk reopening the pot.
This is a unique check back.
So I was wondering if I could get value out of queens, but I was like, I don't know. Our pair of kings is best. Luckily, we're up against the one Broadway pocket pair we can beat to win a substantial pot, even though there was no post-flop betting. I'll take it. Next, we're dealt pocket 5s under the gun +1. In these games, we're going to be opening all of our pocket pairs, even from early position. I raised to 50. The small blind calls, the big blind calls as well. We're going 3 ways to the flop in position. It comes ace-jack 5 with 2 diamonds. We've got bottom set on a draw-heavy board with multiple opponents. It checks to us. It's almost impossible either opponent will have a better hand than ours. We need to protect against all draws though. I bet 100. Best case scenario is that we get a call from someone holding an ace who's drawing near dead. Small blind calls, it's only one black chip after all. I'm glad to get at least one customer. The big blind isn't ready to give up. He also calls. One or both opponents could have draws. We're all still in. I'm rooting for the 6 of clubs. That'd be about as blank as it gets. The dealer puts out the 7 of hearts instead. It's nearly just as blank. The small blind and big blind check. We can't allow either player to see a cheap river card. I bet 340. I wouldn't mind getting 1 or 2 calls again. Now it's very possible at least one opponent will have 0 equity against us. Small blind folds. I wanted to call from him the most because he's a bit on the wild side, and I figured he was most likely to have top pair, whereas I think there's a good chance that the big blind is live with a diamond draw. The big blind folds as well. We don't get any additional value. Double barreling into two players looks too strong. I doubt either of them had top pair or better, which makes it tough to stay in. Even a king high flush draw has to be concerned that they may not have any outs. One more pot comes our way. Here we're dealt queen 10 suited under the gun +1. Under the gun raises to 60. We've got a solid image with a playable hand. Most of the time we'll call with our suited Broadway combo. This time we 3-bet to 200, which we'll try to do with about a 20% frequency. We're ramping up the variance. If we can hit a straight using both of our hole cards, no one will see it coming. The small blind cold calls a 3-bet. Generally it's best to 4-bet or fold, but it's reasonable to flat occasionally when everyone's deep like in this game. Under the gun calls as well. We're going 3 ways to the flop in position. The dealer puts out Jack 7 deuce rainbow. We don't have much except some backdoor draws, and they're pretty strong. It checks to us. There are quite a few cards that allow us to improve on the turn even if we don't hit a pair. Any heart, ace, king, 9 or 8 will at least give us a draw. We were representing high pocket pairs pre-flop with our early position 3-bet. We're going to continue with that story as I bet 300. It's a little less than half pot. The small blind really doesn't like folding. We've already tangled with him in multiple hands today. He calls. Under the gun, didn't connect and can't justify continuing. He folds. It's down to heads up. The turn is the 8 of diamonds, giving us a straight draw. The small blind checks. A part of me is concerned that our opponent could be slow playing a set. He may just have top pair or worse though. On several occasions when him and I have played together in the past, I've often had monsters when I've gone with large sizings against him. I play into our history with a huge overbet of 1500. Occasionally, we'll have a set, straight, or overpair that we'll want to choose a big bet size with for value and protection. Here, we're doing it as a bluff that should work a high percentage of the time. The small blind folds, which I imagine he'd do with almost all of his one-pair hands. We fully commit and show a lot of heart to get a successful bluff through. Ultimately, we win a big pot with only queen high, while we leave the table guessing as to what we had.
What was that?
Yeah. There's a dealer change, so we're doing another PLO double board bomb pot. We've got king 8-7 deuce with 2 spades in the small blind. 7 of us are seeing the flop. The first one comes king 10-7 with 2 diamonds. We've got top and bottom pair. The second flop is king 8-7 with 2 clubs. We've got all the pairs there, and it makes it impossible for anyone to have us beat on either board with pocket kings or pocket 7s. The only hands that we lose to are king 10 and pocket 10s on the top board, and the only remaining combo of pocket 8s on the bottom board. I check, as I'm almost always going to do when we're first to act with 6 opponents. The big blind and under the gun check. The player in middle position bets 300. Perhaps he has the case king and some draws. The hijack folds. The cutoff would like to advance to the next round. He calls. The button folds. The action's back on us. We've got a hand that's very susceptible to being downgraded. Right now, we're almost certainly best on one or both boards. One thing I didn't mention previously is that the bomb pots in the game are capped at a maximum of $3,000 post-flop. I'm okay risking that much. With so much board coverage, the one tough thing is that we have so few full house outs since so many of the cards we'd need are already accounted for. Still, I'm going to play aggressively. I say one of the most fun words in poker. Pot. We put in the check raise to 1900. The opponents have to be concerned that we could be holding pocket kings or pocket 7s, which are somewhat similar type of hands to what we've got. As I mentioned earlier, we don't really need to be concerned about our opponents having sets. If either player left knew exactly what we had, they'd probably call with all kinds of draws, knowing that our boat outs are unlikely to hit. Middle position player folds. He's who I was most worried about since he made the $300 bet and the cutoff only called, indicating the cutoff doesn't have a monster. After deliberating for quite a while, the cutoff announces a fold. We're doing pretty well in these bomb pots. This is actually the third one that I've taken down in a short time. I show here that we had all the pairs. I'm glad that we were able to win without seeing additional cards come out because we probably wouldn't have improved. There's a strong possibility we'd have been downgraded and would potentially lose a lot or be forced to fold on future streets. We're still cruising today and are up over 2,200.